you in other ways, it isolates you even more. I mean, there is no winning in this environment. And now that I'm an atheist, I understand how religion it can very much become an enemy of mental health, good mental health. Because religion is all about the shame, the guilt, the let's do it again thing. And being an atheist, just like removing all of the shame spiraling, the guilt, I'm never good enough, and you just strip it away. That doesn't mean that atheists never have self-confidence issues or body dysphoria issues, but it's much easier to address, resolve, and improve than it is being a religious person. Because organized religion ingrains in people that mental health is a spiritual issue, not a medical issue. So people pray away suicidal and depressive feelings, and it doesn't work. You can't pray your way out of depression. You need therapy. And certain groups, I think it's Jehovah's Witness, where they don't like people going and getting like psychiatric help. Now, if I'm wrong, please tell me in the comments. I would love to be educated about it. But if I remember correctly from a video on YouTube from an ex-JW member, I believe she mentioned that there is a definite suppression of going and getting help for mental health issues. And if you're in a church that actually embraces psychology and helping people with mental health, that's great. But it's not a consistent thing. And I grew up in a culture where there was silence. The only time something was addressed was if my parents were trying to pretty much preach it out of you, is the term I would use. Nothing was addressed unless you were in trouble or they noticed something they want preached out of you. And it's just such an isolating environment. I mean, if you're a kind of person like me who likes warmth and integrity and inclusion, it's like instead of living in a warm home, it's like a sterile psych ward. Which is ironic because the denominations I grew up in don't believe in psychiatric help. But the environments I was raised and grew up in reminded me of the coldness of the stereotypical psych wards. And for people who suffer with extreme depression, suicidal tendencies, body dysphoria, emotional and social disorders, it's so magnified if you grow up in extreme forms of religion. Which is why a lot of people don't make it. And for the kids who actually plan to carry out things like suicidal attempts, 93% of these plans would completely vanish if their parents talked to them about it and actually tried to bond with their kids. And half of LGBTQ plus individuals have attempted suicide. And out of that 50%, 93% would never want to commit suicide if their parents accepted them, supported them, and protected them. When you throw a child out of the house who isn't heterosexual, you just doubled their chance of depression and suicide. 93% of LGBTQ people who attempt suicide would never attempt it if their parents had empathy, supported, protected, and cared for their kids. If you can't do that, don't have kids. And it's one of the reasons why I think organized religion is so destructive. It gaslights people into believing a medical issue is a spiritual issue. Depression can't be prayed away. It has to be addressed. It needs to be talked about. You need to find out what amplifies your depression, whether it's lifestyle, people in your life, diet, hobbies, work. Therapy kind of got me thinking, like, what amplifies depression? What things can I do in my life that don't amplify depression? And I learned to set boundaries with people that make my mental health worse. I learned to enjoy life and limit my access to topics and information that really exacerbates my mental health. And making these videos does really help me come to terms with the toxicity I've endured in churches. My own mother said yesterday she would rather endure in a toxic church than not go to church. I don't want to be a part of a religion or church that makes you physically ill, that exacerbates your depression, that ignores and gaslights your suicidal tendencies. If a institution or religion isn't making your life better, isn't meeting your needs, get rid of it. Or change what or how you do it. Religion didn't bring anything good into my life. That's one of the minor reasons I got rid of religion entirely. It didn't bring anything good in my life. And until the church consistently talks about mental health, where we destroy the taboos of things that people can't control about their life, church will never become a consistent, healthy force for good. Religion preys on shame and fear, which exacerbates mental illness. And having to hide it due to taboos and religious doctrine is just as damaging as being told you're responsible for your own mental illness because you don't have enough faith in God. Having faith in something doesn't affect your mental health either positively or negatively. It's all about what's involved in the situation. Religion didn't give me anything good. And church is a reflection of a much deeper problem.